Ooh, how painful it is to wait. How impatient can man be? And how beautiful it is to practice patience. This is Susan of Wisdom and Power for Life. Viewers, you're welcome this day. What an interesting topic. Practicing patience. I'm not here standing like a superhuman. I'm not here telling you that I have made it. I am not here to tell you I have arrived. But I am here to relate to the pain that every human is bound to have in their lives. And that's the pain of waiting and the benefit of practicing patience. All of us, we can attest that we have had pain in life. At one point of life, everyone finds themselves bound to wait. After we must have all done everything that is in our power to do, and the situation and the mountain still standing before us like not moving at all, then nature has brought us to the point where it says, do what you can to make the mountain move. Do what is in your power to make the mountain move. After you have done everything and the mountain is still standing, stand still and wait. How beautiful it is to practice patience. How painful it is to wait. And how it is painful not to know how long you must wait. Waiting can be painful. I have waited for so many things. I have expected many things to happen. I have undertaken so many things that haven't come to pass. I have tried to do things that still haven't come to pass. Then I understood. Susan, life is not under your control. You have done your best. Now learn to exercise patience. Exercising patience can be really a thorn to the flesh. But I say again, exercising patience, which means there is an exercise to do. And this exercise is done voluntarily. This exercise is done consciously. Knowing very well that there are some forces in our lives that we can't control. There are some units in our lives that we can't control. We have no control over. Which means we are limited in how we can affect the occurrences in our lives. We are limited in how we can influence things, the happenings and the occurrences in our lives. How waiting can be painful. I have had to wait for 15 years for a miracle to happen. 15 years is much for a human who is growing older every day. I have learned to wait for things for 3 years. I have learned to wait for months. And there are certain things that you don't just have to wait, they just happen. You don't just have to do much, they just happen. So the power is to be able to differentiate those things that can happen now and those things that can happen in 15 years, those things that can happen even after 50 years. Dear viewers, I know you might be looking at the life of a friend and say, why is my life like this? Why only me? I know the pain. You have wept. You have had sacred tears. That only you and nature knows. You have questioned, why me? I have questioned, why me? When I looked around, it's like everything is happening in the life of others and not happening in my life. What have I done to merit this? I questioned, like some of you have questioned. These 5 fingers are not the same. The journey of life is not the same for everyone. The route you must take and your calling might be different from another. Your assignment on earth might be different from another. But for the flesh to be patient, it's a whole duty. It's a whole practice. Practicing patience is an intentional thing. Practicing patience is a voluntary thing. How beautiful it is to attain that power to exercise patience. But to get there, it requires a lot of pain. Lot of moments of pain. But how beautiful it is to attain, to come to the peak of the mountain. Then patience does not become a question again to you. It becomes a way of life. It becomes something that you even desire. It becomes something that you even enjoy because you have been many times through it. Pain. And you have had to wait because you had no choice. And you took the advantage of waiting. The choice that was never given to you. You made the best out of it. And you fought your way through to the mountain. Until the day it was destined for you to go onto the top of the mountain, then you arrived the mountain. If it were not destined for you to reach the top of the mountain, you would have done everything to arrive there. You would have found your way down again. There are moments you have no influence. There are moments you have no control. There are moments when nature says, you will make a step forward, you will make the second one, but I will let you stop on the third until you learn how to be patient. Because I have an assignment greater for you. Because I have moments, there are many more tough moments to come, and it will require you to exercise patience. Dear viewers, that is to say, practice patience. Do it voluntarily. Come to a point where you enjoy even waiting. Rush is not the best thing. You can attest to the fact that many of our struggles in life, many of the things that became a thorn to our flesh is because we could not wait. It's because we never learned to wait. It's because the human flesh is in a rush to obtain what it desires. It's because the human flesh is competing with the neighbor. It's because the human flesh wants to have what it wants now. And now the things you got through impatience becomes a thorn to your flesh. And before you eradicate and solve the problems you have caused through impatience, it may take you years. And it may even take you a whole life. You don't even take them away. How important it is to wait. Best things and good things come with time. Best things and good things are released naturally through the test of time. When we push by our own forces, we push and we push. Even when it doesn't go, we continually push the wall. Before we realize at one point the wall may fall on us. There might be a counter effect where the wall comes against you. Because it's not given to you to push the wall down. How many times have you had to wait? How many times have you had to cry? How many times have you had to wait? And have you ever thought that the things you want, you might never have them? Have you thought that the things you are after might never be given to you? Have you thought that the things that makes you to shed tears might never be given to you? Your expectation can be cut off for a reason beyond your understanding. Lovely ones, life can be painful. Trials can be painful. Waiting time can be more painful than the pain that cancer gives to a man. Oh, how painful it is to wait. How painful it is to wait. Yes, it's painful. But you must wait. Because you can't change what is not been given to you to change. So you must wait. And those things that you have that are a thorn to your flesh, and those are the very things you thought you needed. And now, by unforeseen circumstances, you have to discard yourself from those things, those very things you thought you needed. You have to release them. You have to give them away. And that might be a solution to all your problems. But you thought you needed them. You even forced your way through having them. And now, you have to release them as a way to solve a problem. We must be careful and very careful what we desire. We must be careful and go within us to ask ourselves that those things we badly desire, what kind of effect might they have in our life when we get them? Well, if you have made a mistake and by so doing, you got the results of your mistake, you must learn to live with the consequences. We must then learn to live with that thing. Because some come to stay with you, and some might leave you at any time, and the problem is solved. But patience, practicing it, opens a great door. Patience is being exercised. Patience is an exercise that is deliberate. If you know, and you know, that you are an impatient person, anyway, all of us, no one can boast of being patient. It's human nature to be impatient. But life might bring you to a point where you learn to practice and you deliberately go for it and you love it. You start loving to wait. Yeah. At times, life leaves us with no choice but to wait. You might be after a train and the train leaves you. Maybe you had a tiring day. You worked so hard and you rush to the train station, glad to pick the next train, glad to get home and have a good rest. And you find yourself, the train, on your arrival, even in front of your own eyes, the train you were aspiring to take leaves you. And then you have to wait for the next train. Might be for a couple of hours, 2 hours, 1.5 hours. Oh, how 2.5 hours? How 1.5 hour? How an hour, how 30 minutes can be like 30 years? Oh, the flesh. Yes, do it several times. Miss it several times. At times, allow it even to go, even when you had the chance to board the train, to jump and stick it, get it. Allow it to pass by. Do it several times, and you become a master in patience. Even in the cold season, when it's really cold, get up from your bed. Step outside voluntarily. Do it. And when you get outside, even when it's very cold and it's snowy, enjoy the cold. Walk a distance, 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, and repeatedly do it. Exercise patience. Build your muscles, because you don't know what tomorrow has to offer. Train your flesh, that when the storm comes tomorrow, it meets you well trained. Because when you are a master of your emotions through patience, when you become a master of patience, life begins to give you things in successions. Things begin to come to you because you are a master now of patience. Things that you don't expect to happen again soon start happening very soon, because you are no longer overwhelmed by things. You are no longer being toasted by your emotions. You are no longer being impatient. You are now a master of yourself, a master of your emotions, a master of yourself. Oh, how beneficial it is to be patient. How every good thing can come to you when you're patient. How you can sit down and things that you thought would happen in 5 years, you were surprised they are happening in 5 days, because you have arrived a place of peace and rest. And now nature is you are become now one with nature, because nature is quiet. Nature is peaceful. And when you arrive this stage where you learn to master these emotions, you learn to master your impatience, you unite and become one with the nature that provides things. And before you realize, you are struggling in nothing. When you think of a thing and your state is quietness, your state is patience, your state is peace, miracle begins to happen in your life every day. How beautiful to go after patience. How beautiful to practice patience. How beautiful to voluntarily do it several times, repeatedly. Choose activities that have a long lifespan, and you voluntarily torment yourself and torture yourself voluntarily to wait. Enjoy waiting. Viewers, it's a powerful tool to wait. It's a powerful tool to be patient. Yes, it is. It's like medicine to all your problems. A solution to all your worries. Wait. Learn to wait. Wait. Become a master. Torment your flesh. Teach your flesh. Subdue it. Teach it to wait. And the mistake you did in the past will be history. Yes.